So I'm visiting Jenny again, and I'm gonna do another update on her garden. It's been a month since I've been here. So her fig trees are right by the entrance right now, and you can see the garden behind in the front property. But before I go into the main garden, here are the little figs growing. They're developing nicely. Some bigger ones. And now we're going to transition to the actual garden. So I'm right outside of the garden right now. You can see the remnants of the blackberries. There were quite a few of them, as well as wineberries. So quite a bit of fruit, lots of it actually, and it's all wonderfully. Alright, now for the actual garden. So from this angle, just before I come in, you can see the large tomatoes that are turning. From here they're actually better visible, but I'll take a look at them again once I'm inside. So here we are by the entrance. This is where she has her cucumbers. She asked me to do some harvesting while I'm doing this film. So I'm gonna harvest as I go along. This one is a little bit young still. It can keep growing another day or so. But the cucumbers are doing very well. There are quite a few tomatoes, both cherry. So I'm gonna pick some of these cherries. They're lovely, gorgeous. So there are some chilies growing. Lots of chilies actually. Some beans hiding. Some more cherry tomatoes here. Oh, lovely. Another tomato. So I'm not quite sure how to get to all of her cucumbers, but here is the first one. You can see it's quite big. Oh goodness. They really don't want to come off. So there are quite a few cucumbers inside. I'm going to try and show you from here, but I'm actually going to pause while I'm picking them because I need both hands to get to them. And before I do that, there's another cucumber right here. And there is another cucumber hiding up here. There we go. Alright, now I have to pause. Alright, so now that we're done with cucumbers, at least on this bed, there are a few more tomatoes up there, but I can't quite reach them. Hopefully her husband will be able to reach those. There is a nice tomato back here. You can see actually there is a lot of little cherry tomatoes all around the back side. On the back of this bed. It's actually hard to get to them. can see the large tomatoes ripening. They're doing very well. Lots of cucumbers formed. So a lot more harvest to come. There is an amazing, I think some kind of pepper, but I don't know what kind of pepper this is. It is beautiful with lots of peppers. I think this is the pepper that she fries. So if so, it's very tasty. There are beautiful tomato plants. Lovely bell peppers. Gorgeous. Look at that size. That's awesome. A lot more cherry tomatoes here. Looks like her salad tomatoes are doing fantastic. Look at this truss. These are beautiful, healthy, and some of the salad tomatoes are beginning to turn color. Lovely. These are medium size, but they're beautiful. A few more cherries for me to pick. So these cherry tomatoes are very prolific. You can see loaded trusses. And oh my goodness, look at this. That gorgeous or what? Look at the size of this pepper. It's absolutely stunning. So she has some cherry bomb peppers here. They're quite big size, but they're now beginning to change color. On these, it's actually easier to see now. They're gorgeous. In the meantime, we have more cherry tomatoes here. They're beautiful, vibrant, lovely. Oh, I love these cherry bombs. They're so gorgeous. Look at that. This was a very prolific tomato plant. This was the one that had 15 or 17 trusses on it. The tomatoes themselves are small, but they're perfect for snack. Lovely. I see the next tomato plant is also beginning to turn color. These are golden, lovely colors. They're not quite ready yet. There are more golden ones and more bell peppers. Absolutely lovely. Alright, so let's move on from this bed. This is the bed that had all of the potatoes. Jenny has now dug them up. She planted some radishes and lettuces and she says she put some greenery and maybe some brassicas in here. So I guess I'll see when they come up. Also, there is a new addition I actually just brought up. There is an earth bed that I brought. It has some cucumbers in it. So they need more space to climb than I have. On the other side, I'm gonna walk around. Big tomato. More tomatoes here. They're so heavy that they actually fell down. Huge tomatoes. It looks like her squashes are growing nicely. And she has some peppers on that side. So. Beautiful cayenne pepper. Lovely. You can see it a little bit better. and loaded these flowers. Now on this side we have more squash plants doing quite well. They're all in blooms, so lots of growth here. She has more salad tomatoes. She has some beans that are runny beans, so they're climbing on the trellis, on the support, and looks like she is about to get some more blooms on them. They already have been picking these. And another pepper. Now this plant is huge, and I know it's hard to see proportion, but I'm gonna try and show you anyways. What you actually don't see that this plant is well over 7 feet. So from the ground up, it is loaded and it is ridiculously tall. So this cage is 5 feet and it's another 2 feet up. So well over 7 feet. And in the meantime, I have a few more cherry tomatoes to pick. These are also lovely. This is one of my favorite pastimes, is harvesting. Such a joy. Alright, so more beans here on this end. And here is another forest. Goes way up. But since this is on a raised bed, it doesn't really give you the proportion of the size of these tomato plants. They are enormous. There is lots of beans growing here, lots of blooms, already formed beans. There is some alpine strawberry hiding back here. And huge tomatoes. Lovely, absolutely stunning. I am absolutely shocked by this size. I know it's hard to see, but these tomatoes are much bigger than my hand. They're huge. And I'm not exaggerating. They are enormous. I can't wait until they actually ripen and I can see the full size of them when she actually picks them and weighs them. So here's the corn that she had. Unfortunately, something came here and pretty much leveled most of the corn. So only a little bit remains still standing. Whatever animal it was, that it was kind of big, probably a large raccoon. But very little of her corn survived. As you can see, it's setting up. Hopefully she will actually get to taste some corn. In the meantime, she has lots of carrots here and beets. So beautiful growth. And she has some cantaloupe growing here. Cantaloupe is beginning to bloom here. Nice, and there is a nice tomato plant. Really lovely. So, going onto this bed, I'm just going to do a round around here. There is a lot of beans here. You can see they're ripening. Jenny picked them this morning, so there's not going to be a lot for me to show, but these are very prolific beans. Really lovely. I love them. Just gorgeous. There's the brassicas that she let go into bloom so it can get some seeds. Some cauliflowers and I think Brussels sprouts and a couple of broccoli plants here. And some more beans. Almost ready to be picked again, even though they were picked this morning. I mean, look at this. She picked this morning and they're back again. She has some celery in here. So lots of progress here. And back there are more squashes and more flowers. So with this one look, we're gonna pause and we're gonna transition into her smaller gardens and backyard. Before we transition though, I want to show you these absolutely gorgeous tomatoes. Lovely. I love this kind of stripers. And one last look at these monstrosities. They're huge. I can't believe how huge those tomatoes are. Really, it's hard to describe. So here she has her garden patch with herbs and a few trees. But what I want to show you is right here on the edge. And it's kind of hard to get to, so bear with me. Right there. Those are papaws. Hopefully this year she will actually get to taste papaw. This is the first time they actually formed fruit. You can see the beautiful flowers she has on this end. And looks like the grapevines completely cover the size of the second garden, the side garden. So it's hard to see through it. Alright, so I'm gonna bypass it right now. So here the running beans are definitely taking over. They're growing wonderfully, climbing on the trellis. So now it's almost a full solid wall. There is a blackberry and raspberry that's still remaining. Some brassicas. Sorry about the noise. That's the AC working for the house. And there is still some blueberries that they love to pick. And yep, clearly Peter has to come over here and pick some nice blueberries. They're lovely. Alright, so now we're entering the backyard. There is the waterfall mound with the first pond with the fish. They have lots of babies in there. Before we go there, there's a little bit of clematis. Look at these gorgeous flowers. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to show you a little bit here on her nursery, all the things that she's growing here. So, look at this. This is my mulberry tree. It's growing really nice and healthy, strong young leaves. Lovely. Looks like she's going to have more dahlias. She has some gooseberry there. There is a beautiful flower here. Gorgeous. I'm gonna try and zoom in to show you persimmons. It looks like most of the persimmon unfortunately had dropped, but there are still a few remaining. You can see they're growing in size, they're increasing. Not as many as I would have liked them to be, but for some reason the tree had dropped most of them. There is my grapevine. And another set of running beans that I decided to use fig as a trellis. So they're climbing all over the fig. And lots of beans. Gorgeous. I love seeing this. So it's a nice coexistence for the tree and for the beans. They're kind of protecting each other. And more apples and more grapes and more figs. So nice little nursery. So now we're going back out into the back garden. And some more clematis. I love this flower. The fish today is really impatient, so here is one of her cucumbers. I decided to climb on the down. This is draping down. Now that, of course, when I came up here, the fish is all hiding. They're all under those bushes. They love hiding in the mint. When Peter comes out here, they're all over the place because they know they're gonna get fed. But when I come up here, they all hide. There we go. You can see them. There's actually quite a few of them here. So there's another cucumber plant loaded with cucumbers. This is a different variety. So you can see a few baby cucumbers hanging down. This is the wild cherry. I believe that's the name of this cherry tomato. Together with oregano. Look at these trusses. They're loaded. They're small but very flavorful. And there is another plant back there. There's another alpine strawberry here. This looks like some carrots coexisting with tomatoes. And some more tomatoes back there. And of course more fish. So this bunch is not quite as skittish, so it's easier to see them. You can see how colorful they are. And yes, they're looking for food. So before I go out from here, I'm going to stop at the berry patch here by the entrance. I think these are the wine berries. So there are the herbs. Yes, these are the wine berries, or what's left of them. I was told that the raccoons here really like them. So there was a lot of berries here, but oh my goodness, look at this beauty. Is that gorgeous or what? How stunning. It just does not get much more beautiful than this. Look at this view. The whole tree is just absolutely stunning. And more flowers to come. She also has some flowers here. So I'm making my way out to the other patio where my watermelon is. More gorgeous flowers here. Look at the color. That's stunning or what? So peaceful here. You never want to leave. So somewhere in this patch there is a nest for birds and my watermelon. And looks like watermelon has formed indeed. So there is one. There is another beautiful watermelon that actually has formed. So it's not a total loss yet. And beautiful flowers. Oh, and I passed them flowers. Look at these zinnias. Gorgeous. Actually, no, these are not zinnias. Well, Jenny will have to say what it is. But either way, they're absolutely lovely colors. There are some white ones. And let me get this multicolor one. They're gorgeous or what? Stunning. And looks like another cucumber. So back to my watermelons. And my... looks like my pineapple is doing quite well. Holy cow. So this climbing thing is actually passion fruit. And it clearly decided that it needs more space because it climbed out. It sent out runners everywhere, but look at the size of these leaves. These are huge. These are huge leaves. Holy cow. Anyways, so back at my watermelons. They're still growing. Not giving up on them. And hopefully they will form more fruit. We'll see what happens. It's actually a jungle here now. There is another plant that Jenny has. And another pineapple. I can never remember what this is. Some kind of herb, I know that much. Looks like she has some lotus leaf or something. And there's a pepper hiding back there. So, lots of growth here. Her dragon fruit is growing very nicely. So lots of progress here. Oh my goodness. So much happening here. Okay, and on that note, and the final view out onto the garden and onto the backyard. A little piece of heaven on earth. Here, this little sanctuary that they pulled up. And it's absolute tranquility. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.